Hi, I'm Admiral Pegasus, and on today's show we are going to be going over the age-old mechanic of OPC hunting. Yes, we are actually going to cover OPC hunting. Obviously, we're going to show you how to actually do it. I know for some of you this is basically going to be like sucking eggs. Sorry, but you'll be surprised on how many players just don't actually understand OPC. So maybe if we actually laid it out here in this video, we would all be able to actually figure it out. We'll also tell you how to actually help defend against OPC hunting, and also covering the different crew loadouts. But if you are here new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe to actually get notifications when I actually drop a new video or I go live. So I've actually written myself a load of questions, so this should be a relatively smooth video. Yeah, since when's a Pegasus video ever been smooth? But we're going to start with the very first question, which of course is, what is OPC? What does it stand for? Well, pure and simple. It stands for Overprotected Cargo. Now, there are slight variations of this acronym as well, like UPC, which is Underprotected Cargo, or just pure simple OC, which is Overcargo. Well, overcargo doesn't really mean an awful lot. So now we do have this this saying within the game, and I'm not sure if it was actually Rev Juice who actually penned this this acronym, or it was somebody else and it just fell into the vernacular of everyone within this game of OPC. But obviously it's been in the game pretty much since day one. I mean, it might be a case of it's something brought over from another it's another online game or console game, really. So yeah, it literally stands for Overprotected Cargo, and basically the standing message, as I was actually blabbering on about, is actually OPC is OPC, which basically means if you've got stealable cargo, somebody can come and steal it whenever they so like. But then again, players can shoot you whenever the hell they like anyway, because after all, this is a PvP game. It's a player versus player game, or as I like to call it, the 4X. I can't remember what the 4X's stand for. If you want to, please drop it in the comment section down below. Please feel free to let us know that one. So now, there are a couple of ways that you can actually find out how you know how much protected cargo you've actually got. Now, this, of course, as you can see, I've actually gone into the scanning phase. I've just clicked in the system. As you see, I'm ready to attack it, apparently, but I'm actually docked right now. I've got no ships. Well, I've got one ship out, and that's me, Fisher. And unfortunately, this poor soul is just my victim that I managed to find as OPC. I'm not going to go hunt him. But if you actually want to know where your protected cargo is, you can always go into, press the I button there in the center, scroll down to utility, and what you're going to find on the far side there is cargo capacity and protected cargo. Now, see, cargo capacity is how much you can actually physically hold in your ship. So obviously this guy, the Spudge, is actually can hold 208.8 thousand, but he has a protected cargo of just under 26,000. Yeah, that's not an awful lot, hence the reason why I can actually see what he's got right here. And obviously, if I really wanted to compare it, I can literally just compare it with mine, but mine is the amalgam. I've got over 12 million cargo and a little bit under 500,000 protected as it is. And this isn't even the bread and butter of protected cargo, in all honesty. So that's literally where you can find it. It's in the utility section on your details. You can also go through your main ship's menu as well. If we don't go on there, if you just click on the ship's manage button and then click on details as well, of course, scroll down to utility. There it is on the far side. So that's how you can work out what your ships are. Now, if you do actually pay attention to all this, these are figures that you are going to know. If you are an avid miner, these are figures that you're going to know, that you are going to want to watch. So let's just take an instance. Are we over that? So look, if I clicked on this node, I know that I'm mining at this one at 51,140. So basically, for me to go OPC, I would need around about 2, 4, 6, 7, around 7.5 hours, give or take. This is just an educated guess. I'd need 7.5 hours mining this particular node to go OPC. So, yeah, never going to happen because these nodes never even go up to 500,000. That I'd have to go up to deep space, a level 46 system just to get a 500,000 node. But then again, it transfers over to G4 by then. So my mining rate is going to drop. But on average, to do this node, I'm going to need 7.5 hours. So I could put the amalgam on here, spend 7.5 hours mining, and I'm still under protected cargo. So that is OPC. And obviously, that's what OPC stands for, over protected cargo. So next question is, where can you OPC hunt? Short answer, anywhere in the galaxy. Literally anywhere you want. In faction space, in origin space, in independent space, in dominion space, in Cardassian space. Literally anywhere on the map. Now, what I will say is check your server row first, because there are certain systems you cannot OPC hunt, and that is ones we call token systems. Now, most servers, not all, will have some variation of this rule, which basically says you can go into those systems and you can mine to your heart's content till either you got a full cargo, or you physically, or you draining that node multiple times. Okay, these are 5 in this particular one. It's the G4 Dominion space. These are 5 million nodes. 5 million. Okay, so for 5 million, the miners I will send in here with the correct crew are running 11 million cargo holds. Yeah, that's 2 full nodes. That's a full day's mining. A full 24-hour mining based on my mining speeds. So obviously just double check. Now, when it does come to war, token systems mean diddly bloody squat, because you can enter them and go OPC hunting to your heart's content against your enemy. But you are not allowed, if you've got this rule of no OPC in token systems, you can go in there and hunt for your enemy, see if they're actually in there mining, but you will not be allowed to hit anybody else unless you are a rogue on the server, in which case you'll just go in there and pop as many as you can. However, this is more of a spender's activity, because you are going to require multiple, I do apologize for the light change there, multiple tokens to do it. One, you're going to need a token to send a ship there in the first place. Then you're going to need a ship with a decent sized cargo hold to actually farm everything. So you're probably actually looking as having a decent sized Nova or a G5 ship to go in here and go up against all the G4 miners that's in there. So, but yeah, so other than that, you pretty much can mine anywhere, farm, OPC loot anywhere in the galaxy. Now, can you OPC warships? Yes. Absolutely. There is nothing to stop you OPCing warships. If it's got loot, it's available. Let's bring it back to the first question. What does OPC stand for? Overprotected cargo. If that warship is showing loot, then yeah, you can go for it. Now, I very much doubt we're going to find a floating warship very quickly that is OPC, but we can give it a shot. We'll just pop into one system, see if we can find a warship. Sometimes there's a warship just floating around in this system. Nope. Let's have a gander. Just a quick look at Vulcan. I'm not really expecting much, in all honesty. Nope. We'll give it one more try in I would say Dominion space, but unfortunately that means I've got to send a ship there to actually just show you it. I'd rather just have a system where I can just quickly pop in and look. No, it looks like we're not going to find any free floaters. That's the big problem with warships as well. Not many players will have them out there for you to actually attack. So now, what I will say is if you intend on warships, watch out for the crybabies. Yeah, because there are going to be players out there who literally do not want you to attack their ships, literally, and they will fire off snotty-nosed messages with threats, or idle threats, or actually they might act on them. Or why did you do that? Blah blah blah. Now you've cost me. Yeah, I mean, it's in a sense, if you really wanted to piss somebody off, it's a great way to drain them of titanium. Blow their ships up and make them repair all their ships forever. As you can see, I've got 17.6 billion in a day. In a day, just PvE grinding, so killing red dots in various different locations. I can easily spend nearly 1 billion titanium in repairs. That's not just on the Newton. That'll be with the Valdor, with the Kelvin, with the Bohr Cube, with Voyager, with, the Newton, as I said, the Monavine, that's a new one to my fleet. So I could literally be repairing ships through various different forms of grinding, and I can easily spend 1 billion. Imagine how much they're going to be spending if you're constantly popping their ships. That's OPC. Now, let's look at the sportsmanship side of this for warship killing. Yeah. If it's sat idle, and I would probably recommend around 2 minutes, just give or take, around 2 minutes. If you've been in that system, you've not seen that ship move in 2 minutes, and it is OPC, by all means take it. Take it. However, if it is actively grinding, you know what? Be fair to the guy. Let him crack on. Let him do his job. Alright? Let him do what he needs to. Obviously, if his ship stops dead for 5 minutes, well, I didn't say it, but it's fair game then, isn't it? Yes, and I did say 5 minutes then, because he was actively grinding. So if it's about 5 minutes, he's obviously gone AFK for some particular reason. AFK is away from the keyboard, or basically put the phone down, because it is a mobile game afterwards. After all, but obviously we end up with it on PC as well, which is a brilliant move. So, now, can you defend against OP hunters? Yes, you can. Pure and simple. There are a couple of ways of doing this. You've got your protected cargo crew. You've got automated defense skins. Or basically, you can watch miners or just don't mine. Well, the last two, we don't even need to worry about. As you can see, I've got a feature here. So, I don't want them particularly. So we're going to click on the feature, and as you can see, I am mining. Now, the downside to mine is you do not have access to the management board, sadly. So what you have to do is click on another ship, click manage, and scroll across. So, protected cargo crew. There it is. This is the best protected cargo crew that you will have. Now, before we actually, instead of actually checking them out here, because obviously the ship is out, let's jump into the recruit section and actually look at the officers. Come on, there we go. Look at the officers. We're going to sort this into ship. We know it's on ship G. So here we go. So here's the first one then. This is your original rare, decent protected cargo officer. As you can see, hidden stash being the officer's ability. Maxed out will give you 300% protected cargo. And trust me, that is very decent. I can't complain. She's definitely worth getting up there, absolutely. So next up, you got Raphael Dupont. Now again, his officer's ability is hidden stash again. You don't necessarily need him in the command seat if you don't really want to. I don't know why, but I keep putting him in the command seat on this when it's actually his officer's ability. Mine currently stands at 150%. Not quite sure what it maxes out at, but what's his next level? His next level will be 200%. So I'm guessing around 250% as an educated guess. But again, he's another protected. Then you've got Dixon Hill. He's a mining officer, so don't worry too much about him. 11 of 11. He's not a protected cargo. He's a crystal miner, but obviously he's on that ship. 3 of 11. Now, this is the Borg version of T'Pring. But again, decent. Starts off at 300%, but as you can see, she's going to mine's tier 2, 350%. Going up to tier 3, she'll go to 400. So I'm guessing probably 500% as a max, as a guess. I'm not sure. But again, in combination with DuPont and T'Pring, this is a very, very effective protected cargo crew. And then you've got your last one, which is below deck, which is Reginald Broccoli, or Barkley, should we say. His below deck ability is increasing your ship stores. Yeah, sourcing for him, I can't remember if there is actually any sourcing in the game. It's not one I've actually actively chased, but starting off at 30%, it's not particularly too bad, but every little helps in this matter. So there's your protected cargo officers. Now there are other officers in the game as well that are protected cargo. So if we just jump onto group, because now I've got to try and remember which ones there is. There's one that's standing out in my head already, and that is a Ferengi called Quark. Where are you, little big-eared toad? Here he is. So he is a protected cargo officer, and don't let them take anything. Increasing protected cargo by 90%. So again, it's not bad, but to be honest, he doesn't actually work his way onto my main ship, plain as it, onto my main protected cargo, because DuPont is actually better. So, I mean, you saw the stats I've got. I've got a 300, a 250, I've got a 350, and that's just on the bridge. So basically, I'd have to lose a slot, to lose a significant portion of protected cargo just to put him on the bridge. But then again, put him with the other Ferengi, he will synergize. But again, it's not even going to come anywhere near DuPont. It's not going to come anywhere near DuPont. So, really not worth it, in my opinion. Now, there is another one with a protected cargo as the captain. But for the life of me, I don't know why. I cannot remember who it actually is. Now, there's one officer in a protected cargo you definitely do not want to use, and this is Fess, because he will reduce your protected cargo. Basically means that opponents will actually take more off you. Starts off at tier 1 as a 30%. As you can see, mine's down to tier, mine's up to tier 3, and I'm down to 20%. But again, it's still that reduction regardless. But if you want him for your speed mining crew, obviously he's going to be one of your best. He's going to be your captain of your speed mining crew. But we're not here to talk about the speed mining crew. We're here to talk about protected cargo. So, but like I said, there is one other officer available. Oh, here it is. Grush. What's mine is mine. Again, 100%. That is it. Not much better than Quark's. But again, every little helps. As you can see, my Grush is maxed out. So, yeah. He will synergize with Mavery, who's next here. And obviously he has secret compartments, which is increasing your cargo. Yeah. So, you're going to need to remember this one for later on, because obviously we do mention this later on in a video about increasing the size of your cargo when you're actually doing the opposite. So, that's protected cargo. If there is one more, please feel free to drop it in the comment section down below. Now, the next thing you could actually use is actually a pretty decent feature added to the game, but it is a pain in the ass to source. Yeah, pain in the ass to source. So, but first of all, if we go into the armory, when it loads up, got ship's abilities, that's where you need to be. And we'll start with the North Star. Now, this does the G3 FKRs and the G4 FKRs. The North Star and the Horizon, I think, We'll double check in a minute. But as you can see, what it does, it's an automatic defense. When a player attacks you on a mining node, your combat officer abilities are your combat officers are negated to minus 100% for command maneuver and officer ability, but you get a 5,500% base damage increase and 3 extra shots for the whole of combat. And you delay the enemy ship's firing for 8 rounds. Now, I've not got any of these automated defenses. It might be worth me trying to actually work on some. But these are fantastic. But they have got a limited lifetime while out, and they need to be docked to activate. So if we just quickly look a little bit further, as you can see, we've got the Antares there, we've got the Vaclis, we've got the Cavort, we've got the Hydra, the Vortivore, the Butcher, and it is the Horizon as well. So let's just check these ones. Yeah, exactly. Oh no, this is only 5,000 increase, but again, still three extra shots around. But that's a significant increase. So yes, that will protect you. It will protect you from an OPC hunter. However, just be aware. Now, there's none for the Meridians yet. There's none for the G5 miners. There's none for the Envoy or the Fortunate or the Botany Bay or all the other miners. There's none for the other miners at the minute. So don't expect too much. Like I said, there is sourcing for these. It's in the Bajoran faction store. And obviously, as you saw, the shard count of 120. Yeah, they're going to take you a long time to source. If we just go into it, and we'll show you the cost that I have for them. So as you go, 165 Bajoran credits each. Now, I technically could actually start sourcing these and going out and doing them, but at the end of the day, do I really fancy getting this? No, not really. It's just a waste of a feature to me. But they are a decent feature. I cannot deny that aspect. They are bloody good. Probably good for something like incursions. If you want to get your mining done in incursions, yeah, these things will be pretty good for you to quickly get that mining done. However, like I said, it's only a limited number of ships. And the only ones you can actually source in here at the minute are literally the G3 and G4 FKR miners. That's it. So the Horizon and the North Star, you're not going to find them. So yeah, don't try it. But like I said, the other two options is basically watch your miner intently or just don't mine at all. So now we're going to flip the coin. We've done defending. Oh. There's one other officer as well I forgot to mention about in defense. Now, where did I put you? Here we go. And that is Chekhov. Yes, Chekhov. When attacked while on a capture node or a mining node, yeah, a mining node by a player, Chekhov decreases your opponent's attack by 100%. Obviously, that is mine tiered up. I can't remember what tier he is. I think he's a tier 4. He's a rare officer. It's a fantastic ability. You can use him in territory capture for putting him on your sarcophagus to help the sarcophagus increase its weapons fire and take less damage, considering it has no shields, basically. But yeah, another great officer. You could put him as captain if you wanted to, but yeah, there's nothing that's going to synergy with this. So maybe like an anti-crit shot with Uhura's captain and Kirk on the side to prop morale, or maybe, I don't know, maybe like half a strike team. Half the strike team. So, actually, no, you couldn't. You couldn't. But you could use Freeman. You could use Freeman and on a guard Worf and Chekhov on the side. Yeah, can imagine that being a lethal combination. But again, you're still probably going to lose your miner because most notably the players who's going to come up against you is actually going to be some big badass player who spends crap loads of money on the game. Thank you very much for spending. And yeah, it's just going to wipe the floor with you anyway. So same with that automated defense as well. He'll probably wipe the floor with you. But anyway, so let's flip the coin. What ship can I use to OPC hunt? Well, anything really. Literally any ship. Now, primarily, you will use one with a decent size cargo. Now, we're going to take this right back to square one. Day one of the game. You can lose an OPC miner at any level. There is a warning when you first mine in the game that it's a dangerous activity and you can be shot on a node. Okay? So just bear that in mind. Even though PvP, player versus player, starts at Ops 10, OPC hunting can start a lot lower. So just watch out. But you can pretty much use any ship that you want. And realistically, like I said, use any ship you want. But when you finally get to ships with decent sized cargoes, because sadly to say, the Fortunate doesn't have a decent sized cargo bay. And you're not going to have access to the certain officers in a low level. But you may have access to one or two when you finally get round to commissioning the Envoy. Yeah, so the Envoy would be your first one. The next one is going to be the North Star. Obviously, the Envoy is pretty much cargo. I'm going to specify why I'm selecting these particular ships. Now, this one is fast. It is fast, and it's also got a decent DPR on it as well. But however, watch out. It's increasing mining speed contrary to the health points of the officers on your ship. So, when you actually look at it, you're looking at this option at the bottom. It will max out 300%. So as you can see, 300% mining increase to mining speed that I have for this. But that's by the by. But this thing in the early game, before all the updates, I mean, this literally back in 2019, this was the bee's knees for OPC hunting and base raiding. Yes, this was a pirate's dream ship. Because as well, this thing is fast. Literally, bloody goddamn fast. Look at the impulse speed on that. Bear in mind, I do have some research. But 171. Now compare this to the Envoy. 144. Yeah. So now the cargo size for the North Star is small. It is small. And protected cargo is pathetically stupid. Okay, so you can use this in your early game for OPC hunting. But again, like I said, it's got a small cargo. The minute I'm at 48,000, starting off, you're not going to be that high. You're looking at probably 30,000. So just bear that in mind. So the next one, I haven't actually got it on stand, is going to be the Vidar. And we'll just jump into here and show it off from here when it loads. Preparing. Oh, we get there. Here we go. So we're going to click on Interceptor. Oh, there it is. Vidar. Now, the reasons we're going to say for this one is it's fast. It's got a decent sized cargo on it. And it's PvP effective. So which means it can hold its own if somebody comes after you because you're stealing their cargo. So let's have a look. Have a quick look at its utility. As you can see, out of the box then is that 31.6 thousand and protected at 10,000. But like I said, its impulse speed 181, so it's faster. This out of the box is faster than the North Star. However, its cargo size is not big. It will need to be tiered up a little bit. So it's like your Envoy is still going to outperform this thing. Your Envoy's slower, but it's still going to outperform this thing. So just bear that in mind. But again, as you get it tiered up, cargo size is going to be fantastic. My two that I've got nearly 1 million cargo as it is. Obviously, I don't use them now because I am a G4 player. But for you low-level players, this is the ideal ship that you are going to want. Tier 3, Tier 4 is going to be your bread and butter with this one, though. Now, next up is going to be the Horizon. I haven't got that on a dock at the minute. Yeah, I don't even understand why I forgot the Botany Bay. We'll cover the Botany Bay in a minute. But again, decent sized cargo out of the box. It does get relatively good, over $1 million, obviously when you get there. So this before the introduction of the Botany Bay into the game, before the Vidar was introduced and things like that, and the Amalgam, this was your staple mining base raiding ship and OPC hunting. Fantastic little ship. Shipyard 26 to build it. So yeah, it wasn't particularly fast, but it did the job. No questions asked. So next one is going to come down, is going to be the Botany Bay when it actually closes out. There we go. So the Botany Bay. Now the reason I'm selecting the Botany Bay is speed. Speed. Cargo's not particularly too bad on it neither. 47,500 out the box. But if you actually look at that input speed, 177, so it is pretty fast. Obviously, mine's a hell of a lot faster. My cargo hold can go up to 1.5 million at the minute. Again, a good base raider, but also good for OPC hunting. But bearing in mind that some of these miners that I'm showing you haven't got very good DPRs. So you need to be very careful if you're selecting. Going after the weaker targets with them is a brilliant idea. Going up against players with a few levels above you with bigger strength miners, probably not a good idea. That's why the Vidar for early levels is going to be your bread and butter when it comes to OPC mining, especially going up against those Meridians, because those Meridians are bitches. So now, for some reason as well, I've not actually put the Meridian into my list, but the Meridian is also available for OPC hunting should you want it. Again, it's got crap protected cargo to begin with. Research will help it, but yeah, the cargo size isn't too shoddy. Speed is somewhat lacking. As you can see, 317,000. So again, this can be good, but as well, this thing has actually got a fairly decent DPR on it. 15.3 thousand out the box. 15.3 thousand. That's pretty good. Now, the only way to source this ship, I will just quickly mention here, is through a main event store at the end of the arc. Like we've currently got one in here at the time of recording in December 23. You've got the ability to get at least 2 of these. If you want to use them for OPC hunting, you can do. Like I said, they've got a decent cargo, but they've also got a decent punch with their weapon as well. So, yeah. So, next up is going to be the FKR miners. Again, cargo. G3, G4. Again, it's going to come down to cargo. It's not going to come down to speed. It is going to come down to cargo with those particular ships. Then you've also got the Amalgam. Now, again, this one's going to come down to cargo only. Speed, yeah, not particularly too bad. Mine is tier 9. But, again, cargo, tier 9, 12 million. Out of the box, not particularly too bad. But, yeah. Ideally, this is just a base raider, though. So, you can use it if you really want to. But, if you actually want to give it more purpose than just being a base raider. Now, your next one, your bread and butter for higher levels, is going to be this beast here. Same like its baby sister. Speed, cargo, PvP effective. Very effective. So as you can see, his speed is 199 at impulse. Cargo, mine has got 6.3 million. Protected cargo is about 10%, so yeah, okay, not too bad. But like I say, it is PvP effective as well. It can hold its own. But again, these are pretty good, especially when going up against the Meridians, because it'll just swat the Meridians out of the way without too much of a challenge. So what crews are you going to use? Well, here's your first one. Straight here. Straight here. Let's go over to the recruits and actually show you these officers in there. Because what we're basically going to say is max cargo. Now, let's... good one, ship. So we want ship E for this one. And we're going to start here with stun. When he loads up. So again, it's going to come down to officer abilities. Pack rat, 40% increase at tier 5. It doesn't sound like an awful lot, but trust me, it adds up with the other officers. They all do stack, and they do stack very, very well. Beta, yeah, okay. The only reason you'd use Beta is on the amalgam, just to increase the amount of bonus loot that you actually gain from base raiding. She's on there for if I do decide to base raid. 2 of 11. Captain's ability. Storage optimization. He is a Borg. It's at 35%. Obviously, this will not increase unless you put other Borg drones on there. Yeah, in probably order, you really wouldn't do that, because you'd actually want stun, and then you'd want the next officer, which hopefully is not this one, but we will put a below deck. Is Strange New Worlds Lalan, increasing base cargo by 30%. Obviously, that will tier up at level, get better as you get tiered up. Tuvok, if those Voyager runs for when you're actually using Voyager, does increase your cargo. So if you wanted to use Voyager for OPC hunting, why not? Oh, get Tuvok on there to increase your cargo. Mine starts off at 100%. Yeah, okay, I'll take that. I'll take that any day. It's better than the other officers I've got on the ship. So, but anyway, this is the other bridge officer that you want. Cargo optimization algorithms is 4 of 11, or the Borg version of stun. Again, starts off at 40%, goes to 45%, and will increase. Yeah. So, 2 of 11, 4 of 11, and stun on the bridge. Lalan below deck as well. And, yep, that's it. That's all I've got for them. Now, there are, again, a couple more officers in amongst this lot that actually do increase your cargo size. We saw Mavery. He increases your cargo size. And again, off the top of my head, I cannot think of any other officers. I'm sure there's 1 or 2 more, but I can't remember which ones. So those are the primaries if you literally want to go out and take as much loot as possible. Now, if you're not particularly too fussy about the loot side of things, yeah, you literally could just go full on PvP. Now, most players will use the Vidar Talios to actually run OPC hunting. And the ideal crew that I've most seen on those Talioses is going to be not there. Here we go. Interceptor strike teams. Now, there's not a strike team for the surveys yet, so don't think there's one coming. But yeah, interceptor strike team, absolutely. Yeah. That's what I've seen. Now, me, I'm a little bit of I think to these players who are OPC hunting and have got this. What's up? You're too scared? I'm going to catch you and kill your ship. I'd rather go max cargo. I'd rather play chicken run. I'd rather play chicken run with them. Smack them, run like hell. That's the pirate's life. This is somebody who's prepared, using this kind of a loadout, is somebody prepared to actually have a fight with somebody as well. Or maybe like hitting multiple targets in the same system. But I cannot gripe too much about it, because when you are OPC hunting in territory, you're most likely going to find multiple targets of interest, which increases the chance you're going to get caught. Yes. If they're online, there's a bigger chance you're going to get caught and they're going to send a ship straight after you. So it does make some logical sense to use this particular set with your Talios. Obviously, you got Andy Billups here as well as forming up the new version of the Intercept Strike Team, replacing this particular officer, Damar. And then Garrett comes along. Now, sourcing for the strike teams is available in the new Section 31 faction store, which has just been released here in December. So you can actually now go out and finally get a decent sourcing. But first, you need to get that reputation up to the point where you're going to be able to do them. I won't be getting them just at the moment because I actually want to max out the reputation before I do anything with Section 31. But that's literally off topic. So, can you track what you steal? Oh, yes, in a way, but primarily no. Now, there is a leaderboard available that we're all aware of, and if we just go back out, it's right up here at the top, and it's these ones. Come on, there we go. And it's this particular one here, resources raided, but if we actually look at its description, it does say from players' bases. So, OPC hunting doesn't count here, but if you actually want to see how much you've actually raided from other players' bases, you can do. Looking at my position here, I better move out of the way a little bit. Yeah, I'm not much of a base raider, in all honesty. So, yeah. But I will say I'm not a bad player hunter, though, because I'm in the top 100. At least I've got to celebrate something on this one. But swinging around to the yes, basically the easiest way for you to do it is to write down everything you do. Everything that you've taken. Yeah. Track everything you've taken. Now, the one thing I didn't actually answer in the first question, what is OPC, is how do you know something's OPC? Well, the only way to actually do it is to go into a system and scan every single bloody target in the system. Yeah. Scan everything. Click on it and click scan. Now, you can click on rewards if you wanted to as a quick one. Yeah, alright. Fair dues. Or you can click the scan button, which is what you saw at the beginning when it loads up. But what you're primarily looking for is that box at the bottom there which says rewards. Obviously, depending on what language you actually see it in, it will depend on what it says. But again, that shows you what they've actually got in the cargo hold. As you can see, this is a warship here. I've got a chance of a PvP chest. It's not guaranteed. And to be perfectly frank, the rewards out of these things are shockingly shit. When you get to my level, they are shockingly shit. Literally, it's like, what is the freaking point of OPC? What's the point of killing other players? Because I'm getting ridiculously crap rewards. But it is the way it is. It's not something that's been primarily dealt with. But yeah, you're looking pretty much down there. Let's go back to that system in Federation Space where I had that int player at the beginning. What was we on? Priory, I think, was in. Yeah, that's it. And it's that 33 there. Scan him. He's changed it over during recording. Or did I scan the wrong one? No, here it is. He hasn't changed it over. So as you can see here, boom. That's telling me what he's got in his cargo hold at the minute. So that means that's ripe for me to go and take if I wanted to. But that's pretty much what you got to do. You got to scan every single ship. Which actually does bring it to the next question I had. Is there an easy way of actually doing it? And the answer is no. Now, I have had a couple of ideas of how this could be improved. Like, without me doing anything, that player could have an oscillation on it. You know, similar to what you do when you sting a player with your mantis. If you've got the mantis, it comes with a red circle around it, which basically means you've been stung. Why not something similar to show that this miner is actually OPC? You get a notification coming up in your DMs to say that you're OPC. Deal with it. So there'll be no way around it saying, oh, well, I didn't know I was OPC. You got a message from Scopely, dick. But, hey-ho. But yeah, an oscillation there. And when you're on system view, say if you're looking in system, say like the system oscillates, say, hey, I'm a mining system. I've got an OPC miner in here. But then again, if it comes down to warships, yeah, most of the systems are going to be oscillating. So you could probably say, yeah, maybe not so much, but when going into the system, maybe just a ring around it to say that the ship is, at least the miner is OPC. Warships, on the other hand, I'd probably say no, keep them, that you've got to scan them, because they're not sort of like a ship that's actively doing something in the form of mining. Now, I will just throw this in here as well for any pirate that really wants to. Again, it's going to come down to how your server row is, but most servers will actually purely say you cannot mine with a warship. You could not mine with a warship. They are free kills. Okay? So, I've done it no end of times myself. I pop warships on G3 ore nodes. I mean, let's actually take a punt at... That's a dilithium node. Here we go. So let's take a punt and see if we can actually find one just right now. And now I'm getting survey ships, survey ships, survey ships. Oh, here we go. We've got one here. We've got one here. But he's too low for me. I can't take it. I can't kill him. Now, if he was a level 30, I gladly would send a ship to smash him up. And it would be made even sweeter if he was OPC. Even sweeter. So, but yeah, you just watch out though. Fighting warships, you might get a player who cries and says, "You killed my warship." Well, don't mind with the damn thing then. But, hey-ho. So, that's it. And I think I'm at the end of my questions on OPC hunting. So, there it is. OPC hunting. It's relatively simple, relatively easy to understand. Here we go. I've got a warship in here. Let's have a quick look at him. And obviously I can scan this one. Here we go. This ship's got OPC. Do I want to go kill him? Why not? I mean, he's got some titanium on board. Okay, it's not particularly high levels. That is literally... That's like a tickle to me. Like I said, I'm blasting nearly $1 billion in just repairs. So... But my guess is at the minute he's passively active. So he's just basically leveling his ship up by shoving it in 1 million space and waiting for a hunter to come at him. So basically I could sit here and just watch him for a little bit. We will just see if a ship actually makes a beeline towards him while I close up here. But yeah. Now, OPC is a great way to build up your resources and materials. However, yes, there is always an however. Materials, and I actually wrote all this down to remind me. Yeah. Here we go. Materials. There's only so much that you can refine at any one time. My refinery has a 1 mil as a max pull. So that's 4 chests. So I'll put the screenshot on for you. But that's every 10 hours. Now, yes, if I OPC materials like here, obviously I'd go for G4 because G3 is not much for me anymore. I could go for G4. I could OPC hunt. But chances of me making making around about 2 million a day in OPC hunting, yeah, really not gonna happen. Because there are other OPC hunters who probably found them already. Or it's usually me that's OPC. Anyway, but it will save you mining. It will save you mining. But again, remember, it doesn't matter whether you're mining or you're OPC hunting. Your refinery can only do so much per day or per turn. And then you've got to wait for it to cool down before you can pull it again. So, yes, you could sit there and have 85 billion materials in your refinery, which basically means you do not need to mine, you don't need to OPC hunt, which is fine. But you can only pull 1 million a day, 1 million every 10 hours, so 2 million a day. Yeah, you're set for at least another 2-3 years, granted. And the fact you'll never have billions of materials in your base waiting to refine. But, yeah. So just bear that bit in mind. Resources. You can never have enough resources, especially when the events and the battle pass pays out a fair, decent whack. And they do at the minute. And the same with the materials, the refined materials. They do pay out a fair whack. I'm not going to complain. But, again, there's only so much that you can use before you hit some built-in wall in the game. Which is something like speed ups. Have you got enough speed ups to speed the buildings or the research or the ships tearing up? Materials. Have you got enough materials to do all the stuff that you want to do? Or latinum. Have you got enough latinum to cover your materials or the common side of things? Or generally you've got nothing left to upgrade. Which is self-defeating, that particular statement, because there's always going to be something to upgrade. It is called your base. Once you get through all the buildings, the next ops level's ready for you to upgrade. But again, it comes down to speed ups and latinum. Have you got enough to speed that building up? Speed that piece of research up? No? Fair dues. Now I can go kill this guy because he's been sat here. I've been blabbering on about this and I'm only 2/3 of the way through this summary. And he's still sat there. I could go kill him. 938 titanium. Do I really want to bother with that? My repair costs will be more than that. Other minables like latinum, mycelium. Yeah, I'm stuck. Isogen. Again. Guess what? Again, great to have a good backstock, but you can only refine so much every 22 hours. Yeah. So yes, it's all well and good having a good old backstock, but again, you can only refine so much. Then you've got to wait. So while OPC hunting is a great method to increase your backstock and everything, it's self-defeating in another way because what are you going to do? Yes, it means you're not going to mine for a little bit, but really? I mean, let's reset this node. Oh, and there is another way to check your protected cargo. I'll just quickly throw it in here. Down here at the bottom. Now, this will only show you either what you have in your cargo hold. It's basically show you how much of your cargo hold is protected. So this is telling me that my entire cargo hold at the minute is under protection. I guarantee I've got a 960,000 protection on this thing. I can mine these nodes 4 times. That's 2 hours work. And I'm done. So, but yeah. So obviously we've gone up a little bit further. So you're going to show there you go, protected cargo's changed, because it's just basically saying that my cargo's protected, everything's protected. Obviously, when you reach the limit, that'll go to like 960, and that'll carry on to like 1 million. Yeah, so you just basically take that away from that, and that's what's available on show. So, but yeah. So that's all I can say about OPC hunting. Yes, it can be a ball ache by scanning every single damn target to see if it's OPC. Like I say, that little ring around it would be nice. It would make things a little bit easier, like a quality of life update that we could do with, but hey ho. But then again, it's a pirate's life out there for OPC hunting. If you actually want to get the loot, then you've got to go out and flip and earn it. Yeah, just like that bottle of rum that Jack had. But let's not mince words, right? Scopely don't actually do things to make things easy for players, because ultimately what they want you doing is they want you spending. Yeah. So bear that in mind. But anyway, if you like the video, please don't forget to smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you have not already, or you are new to my channel. Join button is also available for channel memberships, and donation links are in the description down below. Also the link for Discord, so please come along, chat on Discord. I am available on Discord pretty much most of the time. So, but yeah, come and ask me questions. Drop a comment in the videos. I will look at it and I'll answer it if it needs an answer. But do not be afraid to ask any questions. There are members in the community who are more than willing to answer any questions if they beat me to it, or if they literally want to put a different view on record that I haven't actually covered yet. So that's it. Thank you for joining me. I'm Admiral Pegasus. This is the Pegasus Show, and we are OPC hunting. Stay safe, live long and prosper, and I shall catch you on the next video. Goodbye.